Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, third-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys take on Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying level.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
This offense begins and ends with Ezekiel Elliott. He played in only 10 games last year after leading the league in rushing as a rookie, but still led the league in rushing yards per game for the 2nd year in a row. When he gets his hands on the football, everyone comes to the edge of their seat.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. And the defense now for the Eagles.
One of the heroes of the Eagles Super Bowl winning team is Brandon Graham. 9.5 sacks in 2017, a career high. And how about the biggest play of the season when he stripped the football from Tom Brady late to seal their Super Bowl win? And he did it from the defensive tackle position. Normally a defensive end, kicked inside and made the biggest play of his life.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he is going to have the first down as he's up to his own 13-yard line. 8 yards there, getting him out of danger. It's a first down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. Sproles lost the football, but I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was, and Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
Now a play fake. Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
His throw caught right around the 6. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This Cowboy defense trying to hold him out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal. To throw, it's Wentz. Buying time, and he'll score! Touchdown, Eagles! Carson Wentz, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, so you know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? And turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's
on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Prescott looks to throw on first. This is caught by Hearns. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let it pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Wentz now on 1st down. Ertz shrugs him aside. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 1 quarter down. 7-0 is our score, and we're back to Philadelphia after this. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. This is Ajayi. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Aguilar has it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And unsuccessful there, trying to dump it underneath. That'll bring up 3rd down.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the 1st half.
The Eagles on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him as we sit in the second quarter. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Prescott on first down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That goes for a gain of 31.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. First down, Prescott. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A first down carry for Smith. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw is Prescott. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game. So you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Throwing on first is Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
Here's Wentz to throw. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Wentz now 12 of 15 throwing the ball. 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10.
There we go. Back. 120. Listen.
Now Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Again, it's Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Eagles on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Wentz to throw again. And he'll go out of bounds is in the red zone just inside the 20. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And Beasley with it over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To the air again, Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And Bailey able to knock it through. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. Darren Sproles. He's at the 50, 30, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. on Sproles. 101 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead now up to 14. He covered every yard of the field plus one in the end zone. A 101-yard return there. Electric. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Mike Bennett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Third and long for Prescott. In trouble, and he's taken down. Michael Bennett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out.
but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go.
Working from the gun. Wentz sheds off the tackle. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They go play action here on first down. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Ajayi. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. To throw, it's Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run it now with Sproles. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and goal, Ajayi, the lone man in the backfield. He'll get it up the middle. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Elliott good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by a touchdown run by Jay Ajayi. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's Williams on the catch. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Prescott now on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
First down throw for Prescott. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Prescott from the gun. And his throw's going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Prescott. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
and it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Wentz. And he's got his man on the out route. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And he connects with Ertz. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Here we go. 20.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now it's Sproles. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Waits now to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Here we go, back man. 120. What's your son?
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Sproles. And an alley to run. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
They run with Ajayi. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now Wentz drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 8 yards there and a 1st down. Into the red zone. Wentz goes underneath for Sproles. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Prescott. He hits Beasley right side. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Prescott now, perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. This is intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll check on his status when we get back. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Back to it after the pick-6. Prescott, space to maneuver at the 40. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Prescott looks to throw on first. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Got a man over the middle, it's Williams. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Here we go. Wide eight.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he finds Beasley, complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row.
I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
On third down, it's Prescott. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the third time tonight. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Throwing is Wentz. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
From the red zone now, Wentz. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal. On play action, it's Wentz. And his throw here's incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Alvin away and bring up second down.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal.
4 down. Here we go. 120.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. Wentz now on third and goal. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Jalen Smith able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up fourth down. You never want to give up a sack. And from the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Prescott from the gun. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play.
Hey, 4 down. Here we go. 180.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. Prescott on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. A 1st down throw for Prescott. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 180.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and that will get him one closer. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice in the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Philadelphia, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.